What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, and today we're looking at the New Orleans Saints for our projected Madden 16 overall ratings video. As always, this video hits 30 likes, a new video uploaded immediately. 50 likes, a new video be uploaded immediately. 30 likes, new video uploaded soonest. Jesus, you can tell I'm a little bit rusty. New job, doing 45 hours plus a week. So these videos, you guys are crushing the 50 likes for a video. Fuck, I have to do all these videos on my one day off. But I'm worth it. You guys are killing it. Keep subscribing to the channel. We want 10,000 subs by the time Madden 16 comes out. We're well on our way for that goal. So keep on subscribing. Keep on spreading the word. Now, without further ado, look at the top 5 overall players in the Saints. You got punter Thomas Morstead, 93. Drew Brees, quarterback, 93. Junior Gallette, 91. Recently acquired center from the Seattle Seahawks, Marques Colston, 91. One of the best centers in the NFL. And then free agency signing last year, injury prone this last season, Jairus Byrd, 90 overall. So now look at the individual position breakdown. At quarterback, we gave Drew Brees a 93 overall. As someone who kind of lived and died by Drew Brees last year in fantasy, pretty bad year from Drew Brees' standpoint. Still almost threw for 5,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, but the turnovers were way too high. I felt that the Saints try to establish a run game when maybe that they should have, stuck with what they were. And that was a passing team. Obviously, Jimmy Graham didn't do a whole lot last year, but losing a weapon like that is incredibly tough. It's going to be tough for them to overcome. But luckily, we were able to retain hold on to Mark Ingram this free agency period, which would be nice. But look at Drew Brees. Still got to give him a 93 because, let's be honest, Drew Brees is still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Look at the running back. Mark Ingram obviously stayed, was a free agent. They were able to lock him up. Just shy of 1,000 rushing yards last year and 9 touchdowns in 9 games started. Incredible year. Still can't believe he beat Toby Gurley for the Heisman. But he's, like I said, solid season for him last year. They also acquired C.J. Spiller through free agency, the former Buffalo Bill. When healthy, he's one of the most electrifying running backs in the league. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially with Kerry Robinson, who looked great in limited snaps. That's a pretty terrifying 300 running attack right there. Fullback Eric Lorig, 74. Now the wide receiver position, Marques Colston, we still gave him an 83 overall. He started to kind of have a dip in his stats, 59 receptions, 900 yards, and 5 touchdowns last year. I think that was more or less because obviously he's pretty much, for how big he is, the way that he's used, Jimmy Graham kind of ate into his snaps and what kind of where his involvement in the offense is. Now without Jimmy Graham, wouldn't be surprised if Marques Colston returns to the 1,000-yard receiving mark. Brandin Cooks, the rookie, looked phenomenal last year until he got hurt. Last year he had 10 games. Played 10 games, 53 receptions, 550 yards, and 3 touchdowns. An incredible weapon. He's everything Tavon Austin isn't. Lived up to the hype. It's going to be tough. They did lose Kenny Stills. They traded him to the Miami Dolphins, I believe. So these two here are going to have to, really, really stand out and have an excellent... Is that the guy I think it is? Yeah, Brandon Coleman, big 6'6", Brandon Coleman of Rutgers. Anyway, those two are going to have, their work cut out for them. Now look at the tight end position. Life beyond Jimmy Graham. Josh Hill, we gave him a 77 overall, had 5 receiving touchdowns last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be, have a really big breakout year. Orson Charles is there. Ben Watson, has been around the league for, fucking forever. I remember he used to be a beast back in the Patriot days. So, they have 3 solid rotational tight ends, but I don't think even if you add all 3 of these guys' talents up, it relates or equals to what Jimmy Graham was, but still, there's potential there. Josh Hill, sleeper candidate. Look at the offensive line, Teron Armstead, one of the more underrated tackles in the game, so we gave him an 80 overall. Left guard, Senio Clemente, whatever. Never really heard of him, so 72 for this guy, going on original rosters. Max Unger, who they get from the Seattle Seahawks in the Jimmy Graham trade. Max Unger, one of the best run-blocking centers in the NFL, so 91 there. That's going to really help Mark Ingram must have been really happy with this. This seems like an offseason that really would make Mark Ingram happy and kind of piss off Drew Brees. Right guard, Jerry Evans, 83, starting to slightly dip in talent. Was usually a perennial 90-plus overall rated player. Did not have the best of years last year. Starting to get up there a little bit in age, but still an 83 is respectable for, odds. Maybe last year was, kind of a just an odd outlier year, but usually one of the top guards in the game. And then right tackle, you got Zach Strief, who I believe is incredibly underrated. We gave him an 81. And then first-round draft pick, Andrus Peat, who, in my opinion, was the best tackle in the NFL, or in the draft this last year. Still a little bit raw, but 81. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being the starting right tackle there immediately. Defensive side of the ball, then we got Hakeem Hicks from Canada. I actually don't know if he's Canadian. He went to Regina, which is in Saskatchewan. Fuck, we have weird-ass names for our places. But, yeah. So you got him there. We gave him a 78 overall last year. You know, somewhat of a situational player. 2 sacks, so that's not bad. Respectable from the Canadian boy. On the opposing side, big old Cam Jordan, 86 overall. A little bit down in sack numbers from the... I mean, I'm pretty sure last year he had 15. He was way up in the double digits. Last year only got 7.5. 50 tackles, 7.5 sacks, 1 interception. Still a really, really solid playmaker, so 86. Defensive tackle, you get John Jenkins, who we gave a 77 out of Georgia. John Jenkins, what did he do last? John Jacobs, Jingle Hyberschmidt. 4 games started, 1 sack, 30 tackles at a nose tackle. That's, solid. That guy is a monster of a man. You have former Philadelphia Eagle Broderick Bunkley, 77, solid role player. Left outside linebacker, Junior Galette, who is incredibly, incredibly underrated. We gave him a 91, had 10 sacks last year. 2 safeties, 50 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, sorry. Just incredibly, and did he make the Pro Bowl? I don't think he made the Pro Bowl. This guy is incredibly underrated. So we gave him. We're not gonna underrate him. This is what these videos are about. 91 for Mr. Junior Galette. Look at the middle linebacker position. David Hawthorne. We gave him an 81. Now with Curtis Lofton, I believe went to I think the Raiders. Hawthorne's the reigning tackle champion on this defense. 3 sacks, 60, 70, 80 total tackles. 3 pass deflections, 1 interception. So he's solid in coverage. Real solid tackler. Just incredibly well rounded. They also got Danell Ellerbe from. Did he come in the Kenny Stills trade? I don't know, but I know Danell Ellerbe was a huge fucking prospect when he was with the Ravens. Kind of shit the bed while he was in Miami, so that's a nice little prospect there. But then they also got Stephon Anthony to Clemson from this year's draft class. Was one of the best underrated middle linebackers. Incredibly athletic. Wouldn't be surprised to see him starting with David Hawthorne there. Right outside linebacker, Parris Harrelson, 30 years old, 77 overall. Last year, 3 sacks and 12 games started. Just over 40 tackles. Under 40 tackles, so 77 solid for an average guy, just an average guy. Look at the secondary, Brandon Browner coming over from the New England Patriots. We gave him an 84 overall, obviously former member of the Legion of Boom. Really, really, just look at that size, 6'4", 220. Some juice, might like a little bit of OJ in this time, but seems to be pretty clean now. But 84 for Brandon Browner. They got him now for probably pretty much the last of his career. He probably still has another one, season or 2 at least of competitive play. Keenan Lewis, 83 overall, another solid playmaker. I believe he had 2 interceptions last year, as well as just over 40 tackles. So, I mean, other than that, though, yikes. I remember that guy, Stanley Jean-Baptiste, was a fucking huge, everyone just said 6'3", Richard Sherman, baby. I don't know what the hell happened with him. If you're a Saints fan, you let me know what happened with Stanley Jean-Baptiste. Probably just get, relegated to special teams. But look at that. They also got P.J. Williams. Had some off-field trouble going in this year's draft, but there's some potential there for sure. Free safety, Jairus Byrd, obviously was a big free agency signing. Only ended up playing 4 games due to injury. 20 tackles in his 4 games, but we're not going to, take the injury and hurt his rate. Like, usually he's about 93, 94, because he's, without a doubt, one of the best cover safeties in the NFL. So we'll just, ding him a couple points for, not having, I'm not going to reward him for not playing, for being injured, but he's still an unbelievable playmaker, so having him is going to be, a big boost to a defense that was pretty terrible last year. Strong safety, Kenny Vaccaro. I don't know exactly what happened here. I remember rumblings that didn't he get benched last year for a couple games? So it says here on this little ProFootballReference.com, started 14 games, so maybe he only got 2 games that he had to sit out, but he still finished the year with 2 interceptions, 5 pass deflections, 1 sack, and 70 tackles. So I mean, still incredibly young. Might not have been as big of a first round draft pick yet, hasn't panned out, but he's still a very, very good solid player there. Kicker Shane Graham, just a solid average kicker, 80 overall. And punter Thomas Morstead, one of the best punters in the NFL. We gave him a 93. But there we go, guys. Those are your ratings for the New Orleans Saints projected for Madden 16. As always, 30 likes, a new video uploaded soonish. 50 likes, new video uploaded immediately. Subscribe to the channel. We want 10,000 subs by the time Madden 16 comes out. Until next time, guys, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.